Okay, setup is pretty much done, so we'll take a little walk around and see what we've got so far. Now, there's a lot of work to do here. A lot of this stuff is still kind of shabby, doesn't match, you know. But I've got the American or Allied setup at this location. Like I said, I'm just kind of messing around with the tent. It still has a long way to go. But a lot of this is static stuff. This half track is RC. The Jeep and the motorcycle are obviously static. The mule doesn't really match the time frame, but it's pretty cool with the Coke bottle case on there. And obviously the anti-aircraft Walker Bulldog doesn't really match with anything, being a completely fictitious tank that was kind of, I guess you'd say, created in the mind of Rex Ross. There's my Pershing there, Mr. Roboticus Prime, and I've been watching carefully what you've done with your skirts, and I like it, so I'm probably going to copy a lot of that. One of these days I'll get to this tank, because I know it'll be a real sweet tank when I finally get done with it. I'm definitely going to put metal road wheels. It's already got metal tracks. It's just a stock IMEX Taijin airsoft Pershing. There's the other half track that I took the guns out of. Got the T-34 sitting around the corner here. There's a lot of roads that run through here, which is kind of a problem for battles, because as you can see there's a lot of underbrush, so it's not real open, so you can't like stand at the perimeter of the field and drive your tanks. You can't see everywhere. One of the big problems is that pile of brush right there. I see a large bonfire in my future, and get rid of that and clear out a lot of this undergrowth, which really won't take that long. It's all spindly. You can do it just with a pair of shears, and that'll give you more options to maybe stand up here by the front road and be able to see your tank along a good portion of the battlefield, especially once that brush pile is out of the way and you can see all the way to the back road. And you can see that a lot of the buildings I've got up right now are just roughed in. I haven't done any kind of detail work to them or anything. I just cobbled them together and put a little color on them. They'll get more work done to them hopefully over the winter. At least that's the plan. Bring them in the house one at a time and start detailing them more like the Gast house is. And I went with the black windows on that to simulate blackout curtains. I don't know if that's proper or not, but then there's the Kubel. And these little Pak 40s are 18th scale, but I really like them for scenery. I think they really add a lot to my battlefield. I guess a lot of this I'm setting up for FPV. I'd like to be able to drive a tank through here and take video in FPV, you know, and drive past all the buildings and all the different little scenes and details and stuff, you know. So this is the it's the midsection of the battlefield, but more towards the west end, and now we're looking east back down the main drag, the middle road. So I kind of got a setup here where I can get a lot of good pictures and videos. That building's brand new. I stole that from Bob. I blatantly copied what he did in a much poorer manner, and that's what I came up with. But like I say, it's still just roughed in. I'll do doors and windows and all that stuff. And instead of 1/2-inch plywood like Bob did, I used 5mm floor underlayment for almost all of these buildings. So down here there's another area that's good for pictures and videos. We've got kind of the farm over there. One of the roughed in buildings is over here. I'm still not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that. I've kind of got this intersection set up with a lot of different things going on. There's the obviously there's the gate, and I know the little sign should say halt and not stop, but like I said, we're kind of trying to work with what we got. Those were old Dickens Village pieces that were just kind of laying around that I confiscated. But this guard shack, I'd like to eventually do a very detailed model of this, and I'd like to have it so that you can lift off the roof right here and see a detailed interior. That way I can put a chimney in the back, because just the front half will come off and you can look down in there. I want to put a pot-bellied stove in there with a smoke unit underneath, just run it on a tank battery, you know, have smoke coming out of the chimney. Thought that'd be a pretty cool effect for pictures and videos, and especially for, like I say, the FPV thing. There's the 1/18 scale 88mm, which is a pretty good piece. They're expensive though. You pay 80 to 100 bucks for them nowadays, and you know, and it's the little accessories and stuff that I need to collect up more of them. I'm just starting to get a few figures together, and I can move them around for different photos and, you know, in different places. But with a limited supply, it gets, I don't know, repetitive. You know what I mean? Kind of, you keep seeing the same guys show up. I still haven't put the ladder on the guard tower, so for now they magically fly up the invisible elevator. And some more of those Dickens Village trees. They're pretty cool for pictures. I'd like to be able to get some without the simulated snow on them, though. And there he is, the guy on the horse. Another, like, you know, just like a little scene. I like how these little scenes around that you get enough of them and you can drive by with the FPV, and it makes for a really cool video. And this guy here won't stay on his feet. Shouldn't be falling over like that, buddy. That's a 75mm shell you got in your hand there. 7.5 centimeters anyway, right? 6 to 1, half dozen to the other. But something like this makes for a nice little scene. And when the FPV drives by, a couple of Pak 40s there, they're kind of guarding. They look this way down the road, just kind of, you know, keeping an eye on things. And this guy here, he's bucking for a court-martial. These are the 1/18th scale Forces of Valor figures or something. They're not bad, but quality figures are, man, they're expensive nowadays. And I try to put the little touches in, you know. I don't know if you can see him. There's a little dog and a little cat. And like this, when I made this building, those windows, I just printed those on paper. I got them off the internet. They got a site where they offer this for free for doll houses. Same thing with the chimney. That's just paper printed off the internet in a brick pattern, and wrapped around and glued a piece of wood. You know, the cross pieces, though, that's actually pieces of molding that I got at Home Depot. And there's my favorite tank, the S-33. Now that I've seen more of what's happening at Detroit Tank Command, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the IBU out of the Tamiya compatible battle tank and put it in the S-33. And then if I ever want to take the 332 tank to one of DTC's battles, I can just swap the IBU back into it. It's all set up. It's got the impact battle unit in it and all that. I might put a slip ring in it, but I'm not so sure. It's not a tank I would take to Danville, I guarantee you that, because the more I learn about that situation, the more I'm thinking that these guys are right. That's a whole different form of the hobby. That's a competition, and equipment does count. You can't go out there with clunky metal tracks that are going to fall off and, you know, stuff like that. You want lightweight and able to withstand a lot of punishment. And while a tank like this, the full metal IMEX Tiger 1, it's a great tank and it runs great, and I can pound on it if I want to and it'll pretty much hold up to it, but it's not going to be suitable for someplace like Danville, because the level of punishment there is going to be tenfold what I give it here, and I just don't think it'll, I think it'll break tracks and all kind of crazy crap. So I think something like this might make a good battle tank if I put plastic tracks back on it, but then you're kind of handicapped because you're limited to up to medium. You can't drive it as a heavy. And like the IMEX King Tiger with the Porsche turret on it, not a chance. This tank looks pretty good creeping down the track on the video, you know, at scale 5 miles an hour, but it'd last about a minute and a half in a battle, and that'd be it. So that's it for the setup for this year. This is 2015, and that's where we're at. I think it's coming along. I don't know. It's been an interesting hobby. It's had its disappointments and its moments of real excitement. I'm going to stick with it for another couple seasons and see how it works out. Right now I'm going to go and put this on the computer because I only got limited memory in the camera. And then I'm going to take a whole bunch of short videos of individual tanks running past little scenes. And just because, you know, I like it. That's what it's all about, right? It's a hobby. So there you go, fellas. It's in Livonia if you ever want to stop by. As far as the battlefield and the openness and stuff goes, you know, I just enjoy driving the tanks around the track. You know, I kind of got to stay close to them, and I end up walking in the village a lot, but I don't care. It's a lot of fun, and that's what it's supposed to be all about, right? See you next time.